All right, let's go to Lee Harris over at Limestone Title for the first question. Kelly sent us an email saying she signed a contract to purchase a house, $200,000, Lee. Property listed in the multiple listing service as 2,100 square feet on the first and second floors combined. Kelly says she thought it felt a little smaller than the 2,100 square feet that was listed. And she says when she asked her realtor, was told to wait for the appraisal and see. And when the appraisal came back, that was worth 200,000, but also noted the actual square footage was 1,700 square feet. So that's a pretty good discrepancy, about 400 square feet less than disclosed. And Kelly wants to know, can she back out of the deal? Can she renegotiate the deal? Shouldn't the appraiser have flagged this and reduced the price? What are your thoughts, Lee?
Yes, that's a great question, Kelly. So this comes up a lot because there is a rule in Kentucky that says that if the square footage is off or the acreage is off, depending on what you're purchasing, by 10% plus or minus, then you have a right to void that contract. However, there's a timing issue, which is if you're in Louisville, the timing is 15 days. That's what your contract says. You have 15 days to verify. If it's off by more than 10%, either way, then you can void the contract with no questions asked. If it's after that time and the appraiser says that the property is worth the amount, despite the disparity in the square footage, it's tough to say there's damages if you're paying 200 and the appraiser says based on the market it's worth 200. The question then would be, why did it say 2,100 when it's actually 1,700? Was the source wrong? Were they intentionally saying it was bigger than it was to make the house look better? So if there's some kind of misrepresentation, then you have a second chance to say, hey, look, we didn't have a meeting of the minds. But if it's simply an error, then it's hard to prove damages unless the property doesn't appraise for what you paid.
Shouldn't the appraiser have flagged the difference in square footage, or does the appraiser even have the listing, MLS listing, to show what the square footage was?
Usually they have the contract and the listing, but I don't know if they're saying that it's coming in at purchase price from the contract. They might not flag it because they're saying, hey, it doesn't matter if they brought it down, $25,000 or $50,000 because of the discrepancy. They would say, well, it's because it's way smaller than advertised. But I guess they didn't flag it because it didn't make a difference in their market analysis.
I always thought that if there was a 10% or more difference in what was listed as what it relates to in real life, that there would be an adjustment by an appraiser, but maybe this is no longer being done. You just never know where the appraiser is coming from. Yeah.
Right.
A reminder, if you'd like to see a rebroadcast, actually see the show, you can go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's a redirect to our YouTube channel where this show resides. And if you're thinking about selling your home, I would love for you to review us, the Sokoler team, both buying and selling. To see our reviews, go to LouisvilleGoogle.com or LouisvilleZillow.com. Those are URLs that will direct you directly to our reviews on those sites.